Alright, so hi, I'm Morris Rosenthal. I usually talk about my various publishing endeavors on Phoner Books, but today I want to talk about something that's been gnawing at me for over 15 years, which is the fraud or the errors, incompetence I encountered with the student loans I got in graduate school. These were Stafford loans. And this is some of the paperwork. I saved it, correspondence, loan books that they sent me that were all improper. Um, and if you just go ahead, if you don't know how to do math, here's, let me cover up my social security number. There's a payment showing $50. That was for one of the two loans. You might think, well, what's the big deal, $50 payment? Well, except it turns out the payment should have been about $32. And had I just gone ahead and made these $50 payments over the life of the loan, I would have paid 3 times as much as it. Here's the actual loan statement sheet for it. And what we're looking at is a difference of a loan that is only 9 years long. The interest on it for $2,500 should have accrued to about $800 something dollars. Instead, they're trying to charge me $2,850 interest. That's quite a big difference. And if you multiply that over hundreds of thousands of students with thousands of dollars of errors, you're talking about, well, even if the error rate was 1% of the students, so you were talking about thousands of students with bad loans, you'd be talking about millions of dollars. And the question is, did that money go into somebody's pocket? Did Sally Mae take it? I think they were the ones. Nellie Mae, I'm sorry. Nellie Mae was the government agency at the time. You go to a bank that the school suggests, and the bank issues you this loan, and they take an origination fee. I think it was about $350. And they immediately sell it on to the federal agency that guarantees them, because that's the big game in banking in this country and has been for some time. And that agency outsources the servicing to a company. In this case, it was ELSI, the Education Loan Something Company. And I was very annoyed, not that I have to, only that I had to spend hours and hours on the telephone and all sorts of time, doing up these calculations. I was doing hand calculations at work and faxing them to them. The problem was I knew I was going to get mine in the end because I'm a stubborn guy. I'm an engineer. I had an economics course in college, and I wasn't going to pay them a dime more than I owed them. Even though that in the course of this loan, I got all sorts of overdue notices, etc., etc. Never checked my credit rating. Don't want to know, because these loan companies end up having a lot of power over your life if you let them, and so at any rate, I was very upset about this. I got it all straightened out in the end and paid what I owed, and I paid off 8 years early. I paid off the whole loan within a year because I just didn't want the aggravation of dealing with these people. And the 8% rate that I was getting, that's no bargain. I don't know what it is these days. But the point was, so you get these things fixed, and then they go on and they screw a bunch of other people. So I went to the trouble of going to the Massachusetts Banking Commission. This is just some of the correspondence that I had with them. Maybe I'll cover up the poor woman's name down here, right? And the Massachusetts Banking Commission, we had a couple back and forths. I had talked to the Attorney General's office, and all they could say is, we get a lot of complaints about this company, but it's not our purview. You got to talk to the Banking Commission. So I talked to the Banking Commission, and we went through all this correspondence, and in the end, all they could say is, yes, your math is correct, but they are now charging you the correct, interest on the loan. We see from the records that you've paid the correct interest. Hell yeah, because I did the math, I ignored the booklets, and I sent them what I owed them. So, it's a shame. You can't count on these regulators to take care of you. You have to be able to take care of yourself in this world, or at least find somebody who can do math for you. So if you're looking at a student loan or a credit card loan or a mortgage, and the interest rate, the amount of money you're paying just seems wrong to you, it doesn't make sense, it's more than some friend is paying for a very similar loan, then either check out, I've got a bunch of pages about this kind of stuff on my Phoner Books website. This page is phonerbooks.com/student.htm. Maybe I'll put it up in one of these little boxes that YouTube lets you put up. The point is, you got to do something to make sure that the math on the paperwork is right. Just because somebody's computer generates some paperwork and sends it to you with, and it says X%, this is what you're paying on your loan, and boom, this is how much you got to send us this month. It could just be wrong. My paperwork said 8% on it, and they were charging me 19%, above 19%. It's crazy stuff. So, at any rate, I'm Morris Rosenthal for Phoner Books, and, you got to keep an eye on this stuff.